Well, it's actually my teacher's fault. When I was 15, every time I wrote an essay, my teacher would hand it back to me and there'd be this nice big red A at the top of the page. One day when he handed one of my essays back, he just offhandedly said to me, "You should be a writer." And it was one of those light bulb moments. I was a big reader. I used to read lots of books. I still do, though I like to write more now. But it never occurred to me that people actually write these books that I love. So I dashed home from school and started writing a novel. And I've been writing ever since. So really it's my teacher's fault. You have to be careful, teachers, what you say to your students. I don't think you can have a good story without having a good character. And I remember a conversation I had with Walker Books. They were saying to me about how important the character is and how the character needs to have attitude and I agree with that. I think that the character has to come out of the pages. They have to have a realistic voice. They have to sound like a real child. And the attitude sort of stops them from being boring. And it makes you care about them, really, whatever's going on. So, because I have read some stories that haven't really had much in the way of story, but they've had great characters that keep you reading because you like the character, you care about the character, you want to know what happens to the character. So I think it's really about the character. Black Baron. Actually, I happen to have a copy of Black Baron here. One of the reasons I like Black Baron is because Black Baron is a great character. He's a cockroach. He's a racing cockroach. He's won 17 races in a row. But even though the book's called Black Baron, the main character is really Jake, and he's Black Baron's manager. He's a young boy, and I think, like the question before, Jake has attitude. He sounds like a boy. The things that he thinks and the things that he says, the humour, he sounds like a normal boy. And a boy who's sort of becoming a teenager, so he's got a bit of attitude. And some of the attitude is about his parents, who are clean freaks, and they love to stomp on cockroaches and kill insects with their sprays. So Jake is in conflict with his parents about, definitely about Black Baron, when Mum finds Black Baron under the bed. And then Jake has to try and save Black Baron from the exterminator. And one of the things I like about the story is that Jake has great attitude, and he has this great relationship with Black Baron. Black Baron's his best friend. He's not just a cockroach. He's his best friend, his mate, and Jake goes through terrible pains to try and save Black Baron. It's a great dilemma for him. So yeah, I like Black Baron. Well, I'm working on just finishing off a couple of big picture books at the moment so that I can submit them. My poor agent has a big pile of my work. I'm sure she has trouble keeping up with me. She's sent quite a bit to publishers, so we're waiting to hear back on those. She's got some others that she needs to have a look at and decide where she wants to send. But me, I'm always writing, so that's the trouble. Always working on something. And so I think I'll finish these picture books off. I'm going to a conference next weekend, so that'll be 3 days. I'm sure that's going to inspire ideas in my head, hopefully create some more opportunities, probably really overload my brain, so I might need some days to recover when I get home. But picture books, then I'd like to sort of work on something longer again. I could say, run! No, not really. The most important thing, I think, is to learn about children's books, and this is coming from my own experience, because in my enthusiasm when I was 20, I did what a lot of people do. I wrote a book, thought it was absolutely fantastic. Oh, it had to be. I wrote it. My ideas, my character, and sent it off to a publisher. I realised afterwards that I'd made some big mistakes, There was no way the publisher could publish it, even if they liked it. It just didn't fit anywhere. So it was after that I learned that there are things about children's books you have to know. You have to know word lengths for particular age groups, and children's books are broken up into ages. You need to know what sort of word lengths, what sort of language, the sentence structure, because the younger the book, the more restrictions you have, because children are just learning to read. They don't have a lot of experience, so you can't use a lot of subjects that perhaps you would for adults. So I think the most important thing is to learn about writing for children. I did read an agent's blog where the agent commented on the fact that about 99% of what they get, of what agents and publishers get in their slush pile, is just unpublishable, simply because the writer has no idea of how to write, and in particular how to write a children's book. So it's good news if you're in that 1% who knows what you're doing. So I think the most important thing is learn about writing children's books. It's not as easy as it looks, and just because your children love it or someone else's children love it doesn't mean a publisher's going to like it. And definitely don't tell the publisher that you're sending it because your children love it. They hate hearing that. And I think you also need to network. Networking has created all of my opportunities. So I think you need to join writers' centres, you need to join writers' groups, and part of that is about learning to write too, and learning about the market. So you do have to learn. But, like I say to people, hey, would you jump into a jumbo jet and fly it? Not without learning how to do it first. So it's the same with children's books. You do need to learn how to do it first.